What is going on, guys? Kamon here. Today I'm going to bring you guys a deck profile of PK Horus Adventure. Phantom Knights, Adventure, Horus, whatever it is you want to call it. I got all the cards I needed. And I gotta admit, bro, this deck is ridiculous. It can outgrind the meta, bro. It's so good. So I know what? Let's get right into it. I'm going to show you guys the main deck and the extra, right? Now, my build kind of is very different from like other builds. If that makes sense, I'll show you why. Like, I play some tech choices in here, which I think is very good. So, let's get right into it. So, the monsters are very standard for the Phantom Knights. So, obviously, 3 Torn Scale, obviously, the best Phantom Knight. This is a true 1-card starter, literally. So, if you guys do not know what Torn Scales does, he has 2 effects. The main effect on the... So, each Phantom Knight has a field effect and a grave effect, right? His field effect, you can pitch a card from your hand for cost, and then Foolish Burial a Phantom Knight card from your deck to your graveyard. So that's amazing in itself. Also, other effect, while he's in the graveyard, if a Phantom Knight card is banished while he's in the graveyard, you can just summon him to your field for free. So the Phantom Knights, they all have the same effect where you can banish them to do something like some search, some dump, some summon, you know what I mean? So either way, this can actually trigger to summon itself back, which is another body. So 3 Torrents, like, I saw some builds playing this card at 2, and I just think that's not correct. Playing this card as 3 is mandatory because, like, it's a true 1-card starter, and it's a good extender, you know what I mean? So 3 Torn Scale, cool card, and obviously other 3 ofs, obviously 3 Silent Boots. This is another extender. If you control a Phantom Knight monster, you can summon this card from your hand for free. And in the graveyard, he'll search for a Phantom Knight spell and trap card from your deck added to your hand. So, yeah, these are the only ones that you want to run at 3, because they're the best extenders. You just go normal summon this, special this, link them away into Cherubini, right? Foolish Burial something else. Effect banish this to search. Effect come right back. Dump that. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. So, that's it for the 3 obs. And now for the rest of Phantom Knights, we are playing 2 Cloak, 1 Ragged Gloves, and you actually need to play the 1 Stained Greaves. I did cut this for a little bit, but I missed this card too much. This card, it's honestly too good. On paper, it might not seem like the best card or anything like that, but just this card is ridiculous, bro. The fact that you can extend with this, you have more names that you can use, is ridiculous, bro. And you can summon from your hand too. Yeah, like any Phantom Knight player, you need to play Stained Greaves. Like, this card, it might not seem like the best, but this card is so good, bro. So yeah, the 1 Stained Greaves and the 1 Gloves. I like these 2 at just 1 each. You don't need more than just 1 of this. Same thing for this. Cloak, you could argue to play this card at 3 if you wanted, but I don't know. Like, it's good, but I can see you can get away with it playing it at 2. I don't know. I might play it at 3, honestly, just because, like, I like this card a lot. It's actually one of my favorite Phantom Knights, believe it or not. He's so cool. You know what I mean? Like the cool cloak and whatnot. But, yeah. That's it for the Phantom Knights. Very standard. Nothing too crazy about this whatsoever. But, yeah. So let's go on to other monsters. Now, the reason why y'all are here. 1, 2, 3 M setting. 1 blessing. And the 1 happy. That's right. I got the Horus engine, bro. Very happy. And actually, it's funny because, like, these 2 are normal. This one is Europrint, bro. So random, but I'll take it. Well, yeah. Just, this package is busted. It's so broken. Yo, it's ridiculous how good just these cards are, bro. M Seti alone, oh my god, so broken. The only downside to playing this deck is if you draw these, and that's it. You always want to see M Seti. M Seti is the best card in your entire deck. So what M Seti does, if it's in your hand, you can pitch this card plus 1 other card in your hand to the graveyard for cost. Then if you do, you search for the King Sarcophagus from your deck added to your hand, then you draw a card. Now that whole thing, that's all 1 effect. So yeah, that's pretty good. These, and like, they all share the same effect. If King Sark is on the field, you can summon each of them from the graveyard once per turn, you know what I mean? But the reason why these cards are so good their field effects are ridiculous. So each Horus monster has the effect of if one of your cards is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, right? So if they go like Kaiju, you know what I mean? You can trigger their effect. So Mseti, what he does, he can send one card on the field to the graveyard. That doesn't target. Blessing, you draw cards up to the amount of monsters you have in your main monster zone with different names. So if you have like 3, you'll draw 3 cards. And Happy can just shuffle 2 cards from the banish zone and or graveyard, either back to the hand or the deck. You know what I mean? So like they're all super good, and it's cool to leave them on the field. So yeah, this engine in here is amazing. If you're gonna play this deck, play with the Horus stuff. It makes it so much better. And then another engine that's really good is obviously the Enchantress engine, or sorry, the Adventure engine. This is ridiculous. Best combo ever is when you go Mseti and then you pitch Temple. Like that combo go stupid, bro. That combo goes stupid. So yeah, 3 Water Enchantress and 1 Griffin Rider. If you want to play the Caligo Knight, you can, because it is dark, but I don't think you really need to. I like the Griffin because, again, having that extra negate so your players can go off is actually very, very, very important. And yeah, just the Water Enchantress in this, nothing more to explain. There's many times where you actually just summon this to your field for free. So yeah, keep that in mind. So yeah, 3 of those. And more monsters. I'm actually still main decking 3 Fenrir. I think this card is sick in here, bro. I think this card is too good to not play. It's just a free card, bro. And I like this deck because it can outgrind the meta, and like everything in the main deck can like break boards. You know what I mean? If you have like a really, 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 really big board, or like a really tough board, like let's say you're fighting like Mana DM or stuff like that, right? You know, they're gonna have like a Baron, a Despater, a Apo, plus the like counter trap, right? Fenrir off rip deals with a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? You just summon Fenrir for free, and you go Fenrir effect. You know what I mean? They have to deal with this, so it's like I don't mind playing hand traps, but it's like, what's one hand trap going to like do versus like a really big board versus a Fenrir? Like, you summon Fenrir, your opponent has to respond to this. They cannot ignore this card. So therefore, I'm not playing any hand traps in here. As weird as that sounds, I'm not playing any hand traps. I'm just playing Fenrir and droplets. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's enough. That may sound crazy and stupid, but you got to keep in mind with Phantom Knights, your graveyard is your second hand. You know what I mean? So like, you have your Phantom Knights which extend in the graveyard, you know what I mean? So like if they negate these and hit the graveyard, you have that. You have your Horus engine, which does wonders in the graveyard, you know what I mean? M said it can bait out an Ash, bait out a counter trap, a Ipo, all that stuff, right? And on top of that, you have your adventure stuff, which can also bait out things. And on top of that, you have your Fenrirs, you know what I mean? Like, all of these cards play a role. So it's like, you don't need the hand trap. The hand traps help, and it's nice to have, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like the way you play this deck and the way I have it built, it's like, all right, cool, you have that Fenrir. Do you have a response? Do you have a response to this Fenrir? No? We're good to go. I don't know. Sorry about ranting, but yeah, just 3/3 Fenrir. And I don't know what to put for the last slot, so I'm just putting out the 1 junk forward until I find a different card. This might be the 3rd cloak, maybe, but just 1 junk forward. It kind of serves the same purpose as Fenrir, just something for free. You know what I mean? Just, yeah. Again, that card can actually be changed to something else, but until I find a card that I like, just 1 junk forward. Can't really complain too much about it. But yeah, that's it for the monsters. Again, no hand traps because I don't feel like you need them. They're good to have. I'm not saying they're bad, but like, think about it. Like, the only hand traps you would either run are Ash, Imperm, or Droll. You know what I mean? One of those. But it's like, Ash hits everything, and Imperm is mainly for either purely or it's mainly for Rescuers. You know what I mean? Like, Rescuers can only do so much versus this deck. You know what I mean? Like, and the Noir can only spin so much. You know what I mean? But spell cards. 3 Gold Sark, wow. 3 King Sarcophagus, sorry. This card is bonkers, bro. This This is not a 2 of, this is not a 1 of, this is a 3 of. This card is so good. The reason why you like this card in here at 3 is because there are times where you will draw these, like these are the bricks of this deck, sure, right? And there are times where you will draw these. This card can pitch them from your hand to the graveyard, you know what I mean? The best part is this card can pitch your Phantom Knights too. Your Phantom Knights, your Horus, and your Temples, and your Fenrir can search out another copy, pitch that too. So like, always live, 3 of. There's not much to really talk about this one. 3 of those. Like I said before, 3 Fenrir and 3 Droplet. Again, this card is super good. Very happy it's back in the meta. And you only plus with this card because hitting the graveyard, again, you have a hand and you have a graveyard. So if you go first, you pretty much open up with 10 cards. You know what I mean? You have the 5 cards in your hand, most of them can be Phantom Knights, and then you have the graves. So you have 10 cards opening hand essentially. So yeah, Droplet's really good. Can't really complain too much. And now the adventure stuff. This is where it might kind of get weird, but just the explanation will make a lot of sense. We are playing one right of Emishir, one Faithful Adventure, and the one Draco back. Most builds will run this at either 2 or 3, but me personally, I'm running this card at 1. Only because the fact that, if you didn't know, enchanters can get this card from either the deck or graveyard. So you don't gotta play this card at more than just 1, in my opinion. And we can always get enchanters because we can always get into our Cherubini. The Cherubini gets this and this gets that. You know what I mean? So my ratio behind it is, why am I playing this card at 2 if I can play it at 1? Now, it's cool to open up with this card. Yeah, that's awesome. But it's like, I've never felt the need to yo, I gotta get this card. You know what I mean? If I really need it, I'll dump Enchantress. You know what I mean? And there are times where you can fight with just Phantom Knights. You can fight with just Horus. Or Venture, you know what I mean? So it's like, having these as just 1-ups in my opinion, for me personally, it works. I played the test this deck all day the other day and weeks on end. I like these cards at just 3, you know what I mean? Or at just 1 each. If you want to argue, play this card at 2 and take out the junk forward for it, you can do that, sure, go ahead. But me, I like it at 1, bro. If it gets DD Crow'd, it gets DD Crow'd. But the only time it'll get DD Crow'd is after I use it, or if I do mill it off of your zombie vampire. But even then, that's such a rare occasion, bro. You know what I mean? No one's gonna be like, yo, I'm about to DD Crow this. You know what I mean? When you can literally DD Crow a different Phantom Knight card in the graveyard, a Horus, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I don't know. I like this card at 1 each, so I'll do for those. Then for the 1-ups, obviously, 1 Rhoda, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Called by the Grave, and I am actually running a special tech card, and I'm going to come out and say it. I have not seen a single Phantom Knight player play this card, so I will wholeheartedly, with my full chest, say I'm the only one playing this card, but I am playing the Phantom Knight Spear. Now, I know you're thinking, bro, why are you playing this card? Yo, this card is so sick. This card is so good. You have no idea. So, I'm going to read its effects, right? Each time your opponent activates a card or effect that targets the Phantom Knight's monsters you control, inflict 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. That effect is not that good, but that can come up in time, right? The reason why you play this card is because of the second effect, right? And it says, let's see, immediately, okay, if a dark monster you control will be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So this gives your entire deck protection. Now, I know you're thinking yo, that's not a big deal. Blase, blase, blase. Why would you play that? Okay, so think about it. You can always search this card. You can always pitch this card. You can always Foolish Barrel this card. This card is not a dead draw because you can pitch it with your M Seti. You know what I mean? You can pitch it with your Torn Scales. You can pitch it with your King Sarcophagus. You can pitch it with your Droplet. You can Foolish Burial it with your Ragged Gloves. You can search it with your Silent Boots. You'll always get this card. It'll always be in the graveyard. The reason why this card is super good. I have it in here to mainly protect the one card, which is SP Little Knight, bro. Amount of times people can just beat over this card is crazy, right? But if you have this in the graveyard, attack SP Little Knight. All right, banish this. She's safe. Bro, what? It's why wouldn't you play a free protection card? So if y'all see anyone else with this card in this deck, just know I'm the first. I don't really gloat like that, but bro, like, I'm like, yo, this card is sick, bro. So yeah, definitely consider playing this card, bro. This card is super, super good. This card is sick. I think every Fan Night player should play this card because like that extra protection is just wow. It's so good, bro. And it's not like a dead draw because you can pitch it to your and if you want to burn them for time, you're fighting against Runic or something. Here you go. Yeah, you know what I mean. See, that is it for the spell cards, and now rest is just trap cards, which is very standard. Well, not standard, but I like 3 Fogblade. I like 3 Fogblade. I'm gonna play 3 Fogblade, and then the 1 Wings. I low-key want to take out forward for Sword. I think Sword is still pretty good, bringing back monsters and whatnot. But I think this is fine right here. But yeah, again, these are the only Family cards I am playing. Spell and Traps. So good, bro. I think this card is so sick, bro. Please try it out, bro. It comes up so much. And your entire extra deck is dark. You know what I mean? So, like, this protects all of your links. Rusty can't die. Like, everything's going to get protected. You know what I mean? So, that is it for the main deck. That's a solid 40 cards. Again, you want to change forward for something else, you can. But, yeah, let's go to the extra deck now. For the links, we have... we do have the Cherubini, IP, SP, the Dark Charmer, Rusty, and Unicorn. And I gotta say, bro, shout out to Konami, bro. They really printed this. Look at this. Look at this, bro. It's so nice. I bought this immediately, bro. I didn't care. I was like, yo, $3, it's mine. So yeah, I like this link lineup. And again, the spell card is mainly to keep your SP safe because you always end up on this card. So yeah, just yeah, you know what I mean? We're good to go from there. Everything else is just exceeds. So we are playing the 1 Legionnaire. Does come up. I will never cut this card. It's too good. It's part of the combo. 1 Legionnaire, 2 Break Sword, and again, I do have the original ones from the Wind Riders, bro. Yes, so good, so good. For the 4s, 1 Raiders Knight, and then the 1 Archibellion XT's Dragon. Shout out Max, because I OTK'd him with this, and he was like, what the heck? Yeah, best package. That's how you win most duels, essentially. Not most, but like, catch your opponent slipping, just summon this. Just shake my hand out there, bro. Just like GG. And then obviously, the 1 Galaxy Photon Lord. Y'all know I'm a Galaxy player, so you know I play this card. Ain't nothing new, bro. But yeah, 1 of this, 1 Zombie Vampire, which I don't go into this too often, if I'm being honest. But like, there are times where I have a dead hand, then I do make this, then yeah, it's good. But yeah, good to have. The 1 Typhon and then the 1 Zeus to round up. And yeah, that's it to end it off the deck profile. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe to the video. See you guys next time, man. Have an awesome one. Peace.